soldiers and paramedics in the Alpha 2 company in the International Legion for the Defense of Ukraine. We ask for your collaboration for a closed vehicle of quick evacuation since we do not have one at the moment. Because of this, we have unfortunately lost people and wounded people which shouldn't have been in danger. We appreciate your collaboration. Slava Ukraine!
Heroes Slava! And good evening, everybody. Welcome to the stream. First, let me apologize about yesterday. Had a family medical thing pop up, and unfortunately, it turned into a 6-hour argument. Yeah. Anyways, these guys got their truck, along with 14 other trucks. So, way to go, guys. Thank you very much for all your donations and all your help. The video I've been working on will be out tomorrow. It's a little different. I hope you guys enjoy it tomorrow. The donation boxes are still open if you want to contribute more towards another truck. We are at 4,529 euros. We didn't get to the 10,000, but I think that's a really good showing for this channel, for you guys and gals, because we only have like less than 300 subs in this channel, and literally the smallest of the fundraiser, or the people fundraising. There's channels out there with 15, 16,000 and higher channel members. We're 300. We're the 300. That's kind of cool. I just realized that. That's we're 300 subscribers in this channel, and we were playing with the big boys and showed them what we can do. ATP Geopolitics was able to raise over 41,000. Dimitri over at War Translated raised 21,000. Rick Ukrainian 20,000. Mercado Media 17,000. Succumus 17,000, just barely behind Mercado. Silicon Curtain over 10,000. We were able to get 4.5. PSO1 joined late, but was still able to get 3,400. Shills with 2,684. Johnny FD 1,432. Phil Ipner 956. Richard Woodruff 500 for $15. But keep in mind that $515. Richard was the last incomer, and tried to get his community together to help out. And remember, that $515, that's the armor in a vehicle. Let me go and grab those pictures so you guys can see it. I should have grabbed this sooner, but I didn't think about it till now. Where? way back. Okay. Yeah, that's the armor of one of the Cars for Ukraine's vehicles. It costs $500 to buy that armor plate and have it installed. $500 saved these 3 guys' lives. That's what happened to the truck, but those guys walked away from it. That's what $500 does. That's what you guys have done 9 times over. And of course, the donor boxes are still open. If I can finally put this away tomorrow. If you guys want to make me go for another spoonful of horseradish, you can still bump that up to 5,000, get the next spoonful out. But thank you guys so much. One of the hardest times of the year to raise money for any charity, and you guys knocked it out of the park. Thank you so much. With that, let's hop into the news from Sunday. We're not going here, we're going here. Operational information as of 8 a.m. January 6, 2025, regarding the Russian invasion. As always, we start with Glory to Ukraine. The 1048th day of the large-scale armed aggression by the Russian Federation against Ukraine has begun. In total, 184 combat clashes were recorded over the past 24 hours. This is talking about Sunday. According to updated information, yesterday the enemy launched 3 missile strikes using 4 missiles on the positions of Ukrainian units and settlements, as well as 65 airstrikes using 99 guided aerial bombs. In addition, it carried out 5,484 artillery attacks, 188 of which were from multiple launch rocket systems. Russia also used more than 2,900 kamikaze drones. Russia carried out airstrikes on the settlements of Veliki Prikil, Oradny, Kupian-Zolovi, Hushlivka, Kreskivka, Rahorodka, Kopanki, Zarini, Pretechny, Konstantinivka, Dashny, Sukobalka, Andriivka, Ukali, Velika Novoselka, Tremivka, and Novopavlivka. The aviation and missile troops, artillery of the defense forces launched 26 strikes on areas of concentration of enemy personnel. That's an amazing number. That's a huge increase. They took out 4 UAV control points, 3 air defense systems, and 5 artillery systems of the occupier on Sunday. In Kharkiv, 2 futile enemy attacks took place in the Voschansk area, and in the Kupiansk direction, 4 attacks by the invaders took place in the day. The defense forces repelled the enemy's assault actions near Zarazova. Hopping on to Deep State, going up here by Kharkiv, Voschansk, where 1 attack took place on Sunday, and over here to Kupiansk. Zarazova is here where 4 attacks took place. Moving down from Kupiansk in the Liman direction, the enemy attacked 12 times. He tried to advance near the settlements of Nadia, Tvirdrohiblove, Zarechny, Novosergivka, and Pershatrevneve. Nadia is here. Novosergivka. There's a couple on here that I didn't recognize, so I'll try to find them as best I can. Was it Zarechny? Was one of them? Yeah, Zarechny. And those two, okay. Towards Zarechny, Torsk. Yeah, I didn't really see those other two. Let me just scan through really quick and see if I could spot them. Oh, Rihorodka. No, that's not it either. Yeah, I can't find those two for some reason. Not entirely sure why. Oh, Pershatrevne is here. Let me just keep looking for one more second. Okay, so the only one I could not find is this Tvirdrohiblove. I'm not sure where that settlement is at. Moving on to the Kramatorsk direction, which means there was no attacks in the Service direction. The invaders attacked 7 times in the areas of Chasiv Yar, Stupochny, and Pretechny. In the Toretsk direction, the enemy carried out 12 attacks near Toretsk, Shcherebrnivka, and Kreminsky. Hopping over to Deep State again. Liman, Kramatorsk, Servisk is up here. Konstantinivka, Chasiv Yar, Stupochny, Pretechny, and going south to Toretsk, Serebrenivka, and Kreminsky, where the assaults took place on Sunday. Moving over to Pokrovsk, our defenders stopped 51 assaults and offensive actions of the aggressor in the areas of Elizavetivka, Vozdevchenka, Mirolubivka, Promin, Lisivka, Novotrud, Prishkanti, Solon, Novoveslivka, Novoelizavetivka, and Yaznove. Hopping into the Deep State here. I just wanted to look for settlement names really quick. But Vozdevchenka, Elizavetivka, Mirolubivka, Promin, Lisivka, Zeleny, and Novotrud, Pishkani. Where's that one at? Solon is here. Coming down to the south of the bulge is Novoelizavetivka and Yaznove. 51 attacks happened in this area literally across the entire front of Pokrovsk. Moving down from Pokrovsk into the Khodorkova direction. Unfortunately, there has been bad news in the last 2 days. Khodorkova has been occupied. On Sunday, the Defense Forces repelled 27 attacks. The enemy's main efforts were in the areas of Sonsivka, Petropavlivka, Khodorkovo, and Dashny. Coming here with the deep state map, Sonsivka, Dashny, Khodorkova. As you can see, the majority of the settlement is tagged red under Russian control. There is a video from this area right here where Russians are holding up the flags. It's unfortunate, but such is war. Okay, KGG, you can always join me in Ukraine because I'm getting the heck out of this country as fast as I can. Yeah, 27 assaults on Sunday in the Kharkiv direction. Moving over to the Vermits direction, where the enemy carried out 13 assaults on our positions near Yantarny, Novokumar, Novodorivka, and in the direction of Constantinople. The enemy actively used aviation to strike in this direction. We don't have to go far from Khodorkova. Yantarny is a small settlement here that only pops up if you zoom in. Novokumar is here, and Vermika is here. No attacks reported in Orhiv or Huliopol directions. In the Dnieper direction, the Russian invaders unsuccessfully attacked our positions one time. Let me just cover that really quick. So it doesn't say where, but Russia has been assaulting these islands, trying to get a foothold and take over so they have better firing positions on Kherson. Big news on Sunday, there was a public transport bus hit by an FPV in Kherson. Unfortunately, one person lost their life. I would like to show you that video, but it is not fit for YouTube, unfortunately. Yeah, you know, people like to use that word safari for what's happening in Kherson. I hate that word being used. It does not convey what's happening very well, in my opinion. It belittles it a little bit. Because what Russia is doing is using civilians to train their FPV and drone pilots. So the first deployment for drone pilots for Russia is in this area, and they use the civilians for training and target practice. I get you there, KKGG. Ouch, Mertzy. I unfortunately I fully understand what you're going through. The thing that kept me from streaming yesterday was they detected cancer on my mother's arm. And she wants to wait until after her trip to Vegas to do anything about it. And that's what the argument was about yesterday. And I just was not in the mindset to deal with the stream and looking at videos, and I just couldn't yesterday. We all need a mental break once in a while. Yesterday was mine. So yeah, I understand, and my heart goes out to Mertzy and your friend. That was the Dnieper direction. Volyn and Polizia directions, no sign of the formation of enemy groups. Border with Chernihiv and Sumy regions. The enemy from the territory of the Russian Federation uses artillery and UAVs in the areas of Ukrainian settlements. The Ukrainian Defense Forces continue their operation in Kursk and continue it. Oh boy, they do. Enemy aviation is carrying out strikes with guided aerial bombs on the territory of Russia. Remember, this is Sunday's report. Currently, 8 airstrikes using 14 glided bombs and 445 artillery shells are known. Over the past day, being Sunday again, Ukrainian soldiers have repelled 47 attacks by the invading army in Kursk region. The defense forces are inflicting significant losses on the occupation forces in manpower and equipment, and are actively undermining the enemy's offensive potential in the rear. They go into the losses of the Russians for Sunday. We'll do that with the graphic here shortly. Join the defense forces. Razom de Peremojemo. Slava Ukraine. And just so you guys can see that in Ukrainian, Razom de Peremojemo. Slava Ukraine. Let me pull up the graphic from the Discord server. Let me get the right one. Total combat losses of the enemy for January 6th, 1048th day. Again, this is covering yesterday's news. We'll get into today's shortly. Sunday, Russia lost 1,550 personnel, being just shy of the 800,000 mark. They lost 14 tanks, making it a nice even 9,700 tanks Russia has lost, 45 APVs, 62 artillery systems, 1 MLRS, 2 anti-aircraft warfare systems, 178 UAVs, 116 vehicles, and 4 special equipment. Again, this is for Sunday. I'm going to play Zelensky's speech from Sunday for you. Zelensky official. And let me just make sure that's Sunday or yesterday's.
Бажаю здоров'я, шановні українці і українки. Сьогодні провів ставку. Ще була тривала окрема доповідь головкома Сирського та керівника провів.
And here is his speech.
Бажаю здоров'я, шановні українці і українки. Сьогодні провів ставку. Ще була тривала окрема доповідь головкома Сирського та керівника Генштабу Баргилевича. Перше – це захист наших фронтових напрямків, Покровська. Передусім, я вдячний всім бригадам, кожному нашому воїну, які зараз саме там. Ми обговорили питання по комплектуванню бригад, також ротації. Армії потрібно більше внутрішніх системних змін, щоб на всіх рівнях в силах оборони управління людьми стало ефективним. Були також сьогодні детальні доповіді відповідальних командувачів щодо формування і тренування наших бригад. Друге – це Курська операція. Сьогодні рівно 5 місяців від початку наших дій на Курщині, і ми зберігаємо буферну зону на російській території. Активно знищуємо там російський військовий потенціал. За час Курської операції ворог втратив вже понад 38 тисяч своїх солдатів тільки на цьому одному напрямку. Із них близько 15 тисяч безповоротно. Росіяни перекинули на Курщину сильні свої підрозділи. Там задіяні солдати з Північної Кореї. Важливо, що всю цю свою силу окупант не може зараз спрямувати на інші наші напрямки, зокрема на Донеччину, зокрема проти Сум, зокрема на Харківщину чи Запоріжжя. Я дякую всім нашим воїнам, які повертають війну додому в Росію і дають більше безпеки і більше сили Україні. Провів сьогодні нараду із міжнародниками планування наших зустрічей, перемовин на січень. Прискорюємо постачання зброї в Україну та працюємо для нових, більш довготривалих відносин з партнерами. Ми готуємо хороші дипломатичні новини для України. Слава Україні!
Героям слава. Talking about the adjustments they are making with the Army. Says, I can't even consider going to Ukraine. My income source would be cut in half. Yes, that may be true, but your money would go 5 times further. Rent in downtown Kyiv is, for a basic apartment, is about $200 to $300 a month. Yeah, I started early because we just got through yesterday's. We're just after 5 minutes, and we're about to go start today's. I got to make up for yesterday. I can't leave you guys hanging and not tell you what went on yesterday. Yeah, I play them a little bit faster. I'm getting better at it, though. I need to use my headphones more often, but it just feels weird on my head. And if I use my headphones, I don't have to mute the mic to stop the echo effect. But, oh well. With that being said, let's check on this really quick. Yeah, no changes. And just got through with what should have been yesterday's update. Today, let's hop into today's update. But before we go there, Kurt's operation results in enemy losses in 5 months. So here we are, January 6th, 5 months from the start of the Kurt's operation. Total enemy losses over 38,000. of which about 15,000 were killed. The operation of the Defense Forces of Ukraine in Kerch region, which began on August 6, became another stage in the confrontation with Russian aggression and the struggle for independence of our state. For the first time in 11 years of war, hostilities were transferred to the territory of Russia. The Kerch operation was aimed at preventing the enemy offensive in Sumy and creating a buffer zone. The operation forced the Russian occupiers to transfer significant resources to the Kerch region, weakening their positions on other fronts. The invaders brought some of the most combat-ready airborne troops, Marines, and special forces to Kerch. Russia was also forced to urgently ask for help from North Korea. That's so funny. I'll comment more when I finish this paragraph. Which sent almost 12,000 of its soldiers to the Russian Federation. Russia, 5 to 6 times larger than Ukraine, has all the old Soviet stockpiles, had the standing army. Ukraine only had a 50,000 man standing army before the war, and had to urgently ask for help from North Korea. About 4,000 of the, talking about the North Koreans, have already been liquidated, and some have lost combat ability. Over 5 months of active fighting, the total losses of the occupiers in manpower, they went through that again. Ukrainian soldiers destroyed 104 tanks, 575 armored combat vehicles, 1,104 units of automotive equipment, 330 artillery systems, 12 MLRSs, 12 defense systems, 1 aircraft, 3 helicopters, 859 drones, and 32 units of special equipment. This is all stuff that Russia had to use up in Kerch rather than using it on Ukrainian land. Granted, they're still using it against Ukrainian soldiers. But imagine what this could have done in Pokrovsk. We wouldn't even be talking about Pokrovsk anymore, because Pokrovsk would be gone. If anybody tells you Kerch operation was a failure, they're lying through their teeth. It was, and still is, a major success. Oh, Ukrainians gave up ground in Kerch. Yeah, but they're still there. They're gaining ground right back right now. During the operation, Ukrainian forces captured 860 Russian soldiers, significantly increasing the exchange fund. This allowed hundreds of Ukrainian defenders who were in Russian prisons to return home, and will continue to do so. It was yesterday that it was announced that prisoner exchanges will become a regular thing with Russia now. Instead of having to negotiate for each exchange, they'll be just happening. More than 2,000 Ukrainian servicemen were awarded state awards for their heroism and successful actions during the Kerch operation. The fight continues, obviously, and glory to Ukraine. With that, moving on to Operational information as of 8 a.m. January 7th regarding the Russian invasion. And as always, we start with Glory to Ukraine. The 1049th day of the Russian Federation's large-scale armed aggression against Ukraine has begun. In total, 218 combat clashes were recorded over the past day. Yesterday, the enemy carried out 64 airstrikes on the positions of Ukrainian units and settlements, dropping 95 guided aerial bombs and using around 2,700 kamikaze drones. In addition, it carried out more than 5,000 shellings with artillery, 163 of them with MLRSs, multiple launch rocket systems. Oh, no, don't sneeze. Okay. The aggressor carried out airstrikes in the areas of the settlements of Orishkanka, Herniv, Udi, Zolochiv, Artelin, Servisk, Stupochki, Katernivka, Toretsk, Alexandro Kalnova, Alexandro Sutyunny, and Alexandropol, Tarzviska, Gordivka, Andrivka, Novopil, Oleksivka, Velika Novosilka, Constantinople, and Stepnohorsk. Aviation, missile troops, and artillery of the defense forces struck 12 areas of concentration of personnel and equipment, 2 radar systems, 2 air defense systems, as well as another important object of the Russian invaders, doing amazing work behind the lines and taking out Russian equipment in the rear. In the Kharkiv direction, our troops repelled 3 enemy attacks in the Voschansk area. Hopping back to Deep State map and going up to Voschansk. Of course, Kharkiv is right here, Voschansk there, and 3 assaults happened in that area. 4 attacks by the invaders took place in the Kupiansk direction. The defense forces repelled enemy assault actions near the settlements of Sinkivka, Petropavlivka, Topoli, and Zarazova. In the Liman direction, the enemy attacked 13 times. They tried to advance near Nadia, Proshatrevne, Terny, Yampolivka, Zarcheny, and Makivka. Kharkiv, Kupiansk, and I'm not entirely sure, but I think that one city is actually Sinkova. It's just been a name change. Zarazova is here, and Kolonivska is here, heading down towards Liman. Proshatrevne, Nadia is here, heading to the south. Makivka, Terny, Torske, and I still cannot find that one city. It just keeps escaping me. I'm going to have to look that up on the main map and find where that one is. In the Service direction, the enemy twice attacked the positions of our defenders in the area of Bilogorivka. Liman is here. Solvansk, Kramatorsk, Servisk. Bilogorivka is here. Russians have been attacking this settlement for over a year now. If you guys know Sudovisk area and the K2 brigade, they're operating in this area, and you can see many videos of them defending this area. Moving from trying to grab and scroll. In the Kramatorsk direction, 5 clashes were recorded in the areas of Chasiv Yar, Bilohora, and in the direction of Stupochki. Coming just to the southwest, Kramatorsk, Slovansk, Konstantinivka, Chasiv Yar, Stupochki, and if we zoom in, Bilohora pops up right here. Going just to the south to Toretsk, and in the Toretsk direction, the enemy carried out 8 attacks near Sechirabnivka and Toretsk. Of course, Sechirabnivka and Toretsk are right here. I do have a video of a drone flying through Toretsk to show you guys what that city looks like now. Virtually unrecognizable to anything from before the war. It's horrific. The Russian world, the Russian peace, Russia Mir, that they are bringing to Ukraine. Heading to Pokrovsk direction, our defenders stopped 41 assault and offensive actions of the aggressor in the areas of Mirolubivka, Promin, Suky Yar, Prishkani, Kotini, Ukrainka, Yaznova, Nova Elizavetivka, Tarsivka, Elizavetivka, Lysivka, Zeleny, Novotrud, and Pokrovsk. Again, getting really good at saying these names because they're the same towns every day. Heading over Elizavetivka, Mirolubivka, Promin, Lysivka, Sukovyar, Zeleny, Novotrud, of course, Pokrovsk, Kotliny, Upensivka, Novoelizavetivka, Yaznove, and Ukrainka. Again, pretty much the entire front line. Russia is trying to cut this paved road, and the 2 rail lines heading into Pokrovsk. They do not want to do another Bakhmut and do fighting in the city. Their numerical advantage is taken away in the city, and Ukrainians can set up choke points. Russia does not want to do that again and are trying to instead encircle this city. I can only hope that they are forced to go in and do that street fighting where their numbers advantage is gone. Moving down from Pokrovsk into the Khodorkovka direction, the defense forces repelled 26 attacks. Dyslexia kicking in and those numbers are backwards. On the positions of our troops in Slovanka, Serbrini, Andriivka, Petropavlivka, Korokiv, should be Khodorkovka, and Dasheny. Don't have to go far. Slovianka, Zabrini, Petropavlivka, Dashny, and Khodorkova. Oh, and Andrivka is right there. I forgot the Andrivka. I'm sorry. Yeah, 26 assaults in that area, and that area is shrinking every day. In the Vermits direction, right next door, the enemy carried out 13 offensive actions against the positions of Ukrainian units in the areas of Konstantinopol, Yantarny, Dashny, and Konstantinopolsky. Konstantinopolsky is here. Dashny, Yantarny is here. And, of course, Constantinople is here. Me personally, I still think they need to combine these two areas. It's getting, like the Khodorkov area is getting rather shrunk together. And coordinating between two command groups of this sector and this sector, it just adds an extra step that I don't think needs to be there. But of course, I'm just an armchair general with an opinion. And what have I told you guys before? Opinions are like buttholes. Everybody has one and they all stink. So, of course, take that with a grain of salt and where the position that I am in. You know, armchair, trying to play general. Just catching up with chat. Oh, Nura likes blue cheese too. Yeah, my family's from the Buffalo area. My mom used to waitress back in the day at the bar where buffalo wings were invented. And yes, you have to have buffalo wings with blue cheese, otherwise they aren't buffalo wings. They're just hot wings. Moving over from Verminsk to the Orhiv direction, our troops successfully repelled one enemy attack near the settlement of Novodenlivka. In the Dnieper direction, Russian invaders stormed our positions twice without success. I'll cover those two areas and then go into the update for Kursk. Vermika and Velika Novoselka. Guliopol, no action today. Orhiv and Novodenlivka. Moving over from Orhiv to the Dnipro direction, one assault took place. They don't give us a location, but most of the assaults are happening on these islands in the river delta. In the operational zone in Kursk, units of the defense forces of Ukraine repelled 94 assaults by the Russian invaders over the past 24 hours. In addition, the enemy launched 9 airstrikes using 9 bombs. It also carried out 372 artillery attacks on our positions. Sorry, I thought I heard somebody knocking. The enemy did not conduct any assault operations in the Guliopol direction over the past day. In Volyn and Polizia directions, no signs of the formation of enemy offensive groups were detected. On the border with Chernihiv and Sumy regions, the enemy from the territory of the Russian Federation uses artillery against Ukrainian settlements. Our soldiers inflict significant losses on the occupation forces in manpower and equipment, and actively undermine the enemy's offensive potential in the rear. And yep, that was the door. Give me 1 second. What I'm going to do is play Zelensky's speech from today for you, and I'll be right
Бажаю
back.
здоров'я.
Of course, it doesn't want to cooperate when I'm trying to.
Шановні українці, українки, сьогодні багато нарад, Міністерства оборони та Генштаб, всі пакети, які доступні, а також наші потреби. Предметно ми готуємось до Рамштайну, доповідь служби зовнішньої розвідки, багато питань, наші перспективи. Також сьогодні обговорили деякі деталі нашої роботи з Євросоюзом щодо переговорного процесу. Були спікер Верховної Ради, урядовці, команда Офісу. Цей рік у нас має бути саме таким результативним в перемовинах щодо вступу України в ЄС. Як це потрібно Україні, а отже безпеці всієї нашої Європи. Цьогоріч в ЄС головування спочатку Польщі, друге півріччя головування Данії, наші дуже відповідальні партнери. З української сторони ми забезпечимо все необхідне для того, щоб зробити правильні кроки. І ще одне. Говорив з президенткою Швейцарії. Для України важливо, що відносини між нашими державами залишаються змістовними і спрямовані на швидше досягнення миру. Україна вдячна Швейцарії за нашу спільну організацію першого саміту миру. І ми цінуємо, що зараз Швейцарія готова допомагати і політично, і організаційно. І ми обговорили з пані президенткою комунікацію з ключовими партнерами. Ми готуємо також двосторонню зустріч. Ще один компонент. Разом можемо допомогти стабілізації в Сирії. Я запропонував Швейцарії долучитись до постачання продовольства в Сирію. Українське продовольство та фінансова участь Швейцарії разом з іншими нашими партнерами в цій гуманітарній програмі – це те, що може допомогти народу Сирії налагодити нормальне життя після війни. І що важливо, після Росії в Сирії. Там, де Росія залишає руїни, ми разом зі світом можемо відновити нормальне життя. Впевнений, так буде і на нашій землі. Обов'язково маємо подолати окупанта. Я вдячний усім в світі, хто допомагає Україні. Слава Україні!
Героям слава. That was Zelensky's speech for the day. Yeah, I'm going out of order. To end the operational information, as always, they end with the losses for the day. Join the Defense Forces. Razom de Переможемо. Slava Ukraina. Grabbing the losses for today by Russia. And this was released at 8 a.m. Ukraine time today, midnight my time. So, total combat losses of the enemy as of January 7th, 1049th day of the full-scale invasion. Today, Russia lost 1,970 personnel, bringing the total over 800,000. That's an entire generation of Russians gone. They lost an additional 10 tanks today, 25 more APVs, 45 more artillery systems, 2 more MLRSs, 4 anti-aircraft warfare systems, 83 UAVs, and 170 vehicles. You know, mark this day because that's a crazy amount of losses. You know, it's like Starting to wonder how much longer Russia can keep this up. Unfortunately, I'm not sure I really like the answer to that. For those just joining, thank you for coming. We were able to fill out the trucks under the Christmas tree campaign. 150,883 beat our goal. Let's keep it going. Send me another spoonful of horseradish. They haven't closed out the donations yet. So if we can sneak in another truck, let's try to get it done either between here and the other channels. Great work, everybody. And thank you so much, especially during the hardest time to raise funds. Christmas season is notoriously bad for charities, and that you guys could pull that out. I can't do anything but say how much I appreciate you all. With that being said, we got all the information updated for the last 2 days. Now we get to go to, let's go to the air raid alert map, and then we'll head into the videos. Donetsk, been under air alert for 47 minutes. Poltava, 4 hours, 47 minutes. Kiev-Norad, for 2 hours, 22 minutes. Cherkasky, 2 hours, 33 minutes. Chernihiv, reporting explosions in Chernihiv at 3 o'clock, so almost 2 hours ago. But Chernihiv has been under air alert for 6 hours, 59 minutes. Kiev Oblast, 4 hours, 33 minutes. Zhytomyr, 1 hour, 19 minutes. It's just a little bit before 5 a.m. and already spending most of the day under air alert. Keep this up in the background, and we got a lot of video to go through, 2 days worth. Some of it good, some of it bad, some of it ugly, but we'll go through it all. Oh, I got way too far ahead. Let me zoom back down. Oh, that's only the third. So many videos. I still like that photo. Yesterday, we're almost there. Oh, and here we are, January 6th, yesterday's videos. But talk about the drones from yesterday really quick. Two out of 2 cars. It's supposed to be missiles. Translation can be funny sometimes. 79 out of 128 UAVs were shot down. Another 48 UAVs were lost due to electronic warfare. Making sure no enemy UAVs hit their intended targets. Way to go, air defenses of Ukraine. And I don't know how many times I have to tell you guys this. I just love seeing these Russian air defense vehicles get taken out. Mostly because it is so much money that just goes boom. And you see the drone coming in. Don't get to see the after effects, but we know that one is gone. In Kursk, North Korean troops kick Russians out of their home, into the cold. It's time to play the Swan Lake on TV, Vladimir. Telling them to go away, but they have nowhere to go. That's their home. Where do you go? Do you think they're going to vote for Putin again? Getting kicked out of their home in the middle of winter? And our first session of HIMARS o'clock. Smooth blue, crazy foreigners kicking people out of their home. So we get to see the launches from the HIMARS, and long down the list we get to see the results. I need to get better at putting the unit the unit name. 4 separate detachment of the Central Military District of the National Guard, nicknamed Omega, going through clearing the high rises in Toretsk. Let me turn down the volume on this really quick while we watch. This is why Russia does not want to get into urban warfare. Clearing buildings, working as a team. This all takes training, trust, and coordination that Russian soldiers just does not have. But Ukrainians have in spare. This is why Russia doesn't want to go into Pokrovsk, because they will lose their forces immensely quick. And you just see the teamwork there. you know, guys holding the outside so nobody can come in behind them,
Виходь! Виходь!
and taking prisoners.
Точно 200? Покрутись, стань. Кругом, кругом. Все. Все. Де ти поранений? Будеш жити. Все, повезло тобі. Повезло тобі, блядь, будеш жити. Давай піднімайся.
That guy's wearing sandals in a combat zone.
Повертайся спиною, сідай сюди. Все, сідай.
You can see how well trained these guys are for clearing these rooms like this. Oh, and that part I gotta skip. No, National Guard clearing out the high rises in Toretsk. And oh, happy day, I get another one of my favorite booms. This time taking out another Buk M1. And this one's trying to run away. Oh, see the second one coming in, and the emergency brake system engages. Wait for it. There goes another one. Oh, let's watch that again. Oh, I didn't notice that before. You'll see Russian running away from the Buk just as one of the missiles from the Buk ignites and catches him in a fireball. See, there he is running. I don't think that guy's gonna have to shave for a while. Ukrainians found a Russian magician.
Motherfucker.
So,
Fucker.
see the drone drop. Russian laying at the corner of the building. And when the smoke clears, he's magically disappeared. There's a bag trying to hide a landmine. So drone goes in and takes out the landmine.
Hands in the air. Come on, party people. Wave 'em like you don't care. Come on, party people.
Oh, you guys and the jokes. Oh, man. Mainstream news finally catching on. I don't remember this video right now. Oh, okay. I remember this now.
You only have to scan social media to find evidence of just how many Russian troops are dying in Ukraine. Across platforms like Telegram, dozens of gruesome videos emerge each day showing soldiers being killed by drones, artillery and gun battles. The UK MOD said last month that it expects Russian casualties in Ukraine to reach 1 million within the next 6 months. And Ukraine's Commander-in-Chief, Colonel General Alexander Syrsky, has now revealed just how costly Kyiv believes Vladimir Putin's so-called special military operation has become. The general said Russian forces gained just over 4,000 square kilometres across Ukraine and Kursk Oblast in the past year. That territorial gain came at the cost of more than 420,000 casualties, an attrition rate of around 100 men killed or wounded for every square kilometre.
Let's just take a minute to ponder this. 102 casualties per square kilometer that Russia has gained. Do you think a square kilometer of land is worth 102 people? Putin does.
Killed or wounded for every square kilometre they took. In December, Moscow's losses reached an all-time high of 1,700 per day. The Institute for the Study of War, or ISW, an influential US think tank, says Russia made nearly half of all those territorial gains between September and November, when Moscow began intensifying its operations in eastern Ukraine, trying to push towards key objectives like the city of Pokrovsk. It's thought as many as 3,000 Russian troops were lost trying to take that single objective over a 2-week period in December. Overall, last month, Russian forces seized just under 600 square kilometres of Ukrainian territory, around 18 every day. That's down from around 27 square kilometres in November. So is this sustainable? Well, former Russian President Dmitry Medvedev, who now sits on Russia's Security Council, said on Christmas Eve that 440,000 Russians had now signed military contracts. If true, that means the Kremlin has just about enough new recruits to cover its high losses one for one. There's evidence that Russia's intensive operations are slowing, though, with commanders turning their attention away from Pokrovsk towards the border area of Donetsk Oblast. One of Vladimir Putin's stated aims has been to take the whole of the Donetsk region, and it's likely commanders are trying to accomplish that before Donald Trump is sworn in as president later this month. These figures, of course, can't be verified, and Ukraine itself has traditionally been very secretive when it comes to its own casualty rates. President Zelensky said last year that Ukraine had lost 43,000 troops since the start of the war, but many think the figure is considerably higher. In its latest Ukraine update, ISW says despite the large swathes of territory captured by Russia, none are particularly operationally significant. Russian forces aren't threatening any of Ukraine's key defensive positions. Neither have they launched any sort of lightning thrust that might threaten the Ukrainian army's rear areas. Based on that, ISW says Russia would need to capture around 8,500 square kilometres, double what it's taken to seize the whole of Donetsk Oblast. At their current rate of advance, and assuming Ukraine doesn't launch a counteroffensive, it would take Russia 2 years to accomplish that goal. 2 years.
Let's play that again.
Based on that, ISW says Russia would need to capture around 8,500 square kilometres, double what it's taken.
8,500 square kilometers still to capture. And Russia is spending 100 troops per kilometer. So they only need to sacrifice, another 850,000 troops to capture Donetsk?
Taken to seize the whole of Donetsk Oblast. At their current rate of advance, and assuming Ukraine doesn't launch a counteroffensive, it would take Russia 2 years to accomplish that goal. 2 years that would undoubtedly see thousands more Russian soldiers die or suffer life-changing injuries on the battlefields of Ukraine. Simon Newton, BFBS Forces News. Thanks for watching. For more from BFBS Forces News, like and subscribe to our channel.
So check them out, Forces News. all those places. Kurt's update from yesterday. Yeah. Sudza in the center here. 3 areas of Ukrainian advancement in Kursk. The armed forces of Ukraine made a breakthrough in the area of Kursk region at once, namely in the direction of Lubimka, Velika Soldatsky, and Martkonova. It is reported that Ukrainian troops carried out mechanized attacks using armored vehicles advancing south and southwest of Berdyan. It also entered the southern part of the settlement. The offense was intensified in the Leondivko area. Sorry, these are Russian names. I'm not going to do good at them. And an attack was also carried out near Pushkarny, east of Sudza. Units of the armed forces occupied the settlements of Martinovka, Makhalivka, and Cherkasky. Ukrainian troops also advanced south of the village of Berdyan. Meanwhile, Russian media write that today another revival in Sudza was noted, which means a continuation of the offensive of the Ukrainian armed forces. That was the update as of yesterday. We get to see a BMD-4 go boom, and it's a nice one. Even though it doesn't have a turret, it gives us a bit of a toss trying to compete with the tankers. So they got some really good height on that one. You see it coming up. And they got some pretty good height and distance on that one. That's at least an 8 out of 10. A bit of a long one here, but I think you guys will enjoy it. Third Assault shares a bit of holiday cheer with us and lets us into their lives on New Year's Day. Or New Year's Eve.
Це нашим снайперам. З святом вас, хлопці. Кока-колка вам, щоб долетіло. Зараз упакуємо її красиво. Мандаринчики. Дякую вам за роботу, хлопці. Мужики, мужчинські. Все, готовий до вигляду.
Дякую, посилочку отримали.
Значит, господа, мы знаем, ради чего мы все здесь собрались. Продолжаем нести нашу службу, продолжаем наносить урон врагу.
Балані воюють. Зрозумів, ТМ-ка підійде?
Да.
Плюс-плюс. Хватить контент.
Using a landmine as the drop charge. Attaching the detonator, pulling the pin, and Off the package goes to the Russians.
Парни, вот эта сигнатура, видите, что я показываю?
Плюс-плюс.
Вот это сигнатура. Но он уже 30, видите? Прям по центру дома ешьте, там сигнатура, типовую сигнатуру видно. Показываю мышкой куда.
Плюс. Выбило, да? Нормально, все.
А, все, я бачу.
Вот это, да. І бачиш, що там світиться.
Лівіше, да, типу?
От якраз під тобою.
А, підіймо.
Ні, от під то чорне п'ятно, бачиш?
все.
Оце дом. І там, де така біла точечка,
Ага.
оце туди треба закинути.
Біла точечка, все, я тебе почув. Сейчас. Стой, да? Теплову сигнатуру.
Ми працюємо.
Плюс-плюс.
Пока.
Хорошо, дядька. Хорошо.
На!
I think I got him.
Все, з Новим годом, з новим щастям. Темпо зробили, забули. Ясно.
Что правильно, не правильно.
So go from decorating to an operation to bringing in the new year.
Дай Боже, в следующем году, надеюсь, будет пить шампанское за перемогу. Мага по салону гуляє, мага.
Треба продовжувати роботу по мінуванню. Розложимо борт, затестимо його і почнемо мінувати, зупиняти атаки противника.
Все, після цього накриваю уплотнителем умовним. Закриваю металом і додатково фіксую проволокою. З того, щоб оце все можна було вчепити на дрон, така петля на одну стяжку спокійно витримує це все. Провірено. Все, залишилося вчепити на дрон.
Літокод поняв над нами, прям почав гелікоптер кружляти. Де дрон? Ось він.
Just doing your routine, then all of a sudden things change.
Метрів 10-20. Можливо гради, можливо міномети.
Так. Ти не ганібись.
Ну вихода чуть було.
Ні, я б не сказав.
Вихода?
Я б не сказав, бо я тільки бачив іскри вокруг себе. От тобі і нова ягода.
And then right back to it, prepping the drone to send it out.
Борт повів себе не так, як потрібно, через що нам потрібно зараз провести докалібровку, виправити проблему зі спутниками, тому що є задачі, які треба виконувати. Тому зараз будемо калібрувати дрон.
На землі зараз будемо починати мінування.
Плюс-плюс.
While the enemy stays on Ukrainian land, our combat work continues until the last occupier is eliminated. That's 3rd Assault Brigade for you. So, thanks to the 3rd Assault for bringing us with them and showing us their New Year's Eve. Thank you guys. Keep up the good work. And as promised, the drone footage of Toretsk showing you the Russian Mir, Russia Mir, Russian peace, Russian world that they want to bring to Ukraine and, well, are bringing to Ukraine. That's such a contrast, you know, the beautiful sunrise, and then you look down at the city, and, you know, if any filmmakers are out there, you want a post-apocalyptic movie, there you go. There's your location. I don't know what else to say. That's an entire city in ruins because Russia wants to get to a land bridge. If anybody out there can translate Russian, please translate this video. I'll read you the description. The head of one of Russian military-industrial complexes said that this is the beginning of the end of the military-industrial complex in Russia. He also noted that the defense minister is reporting to Putin completely different things than what is actually happening. This is a disaster. And then Ukrainians add, no, this is not a disaster. This is just the beginning. I'll play this really quick.
Вот как раз новый министр обороны Белоусов, он очень интересно у Путина доклад зачитал. Я думаю, вы все, наверное, уже его видели, кто связан с производством и так далее. О степени локализации российской, грубо говоря, производства российского. В любых цепочках возьмите.
I would love to have this translated.
Потому что это катастрофа. И вы понимаете, и такое ощущение, что за заводы, за российские, вот за предприятия российские, ни у кого ни душа не болит. Я вот не вижу, чтобы кто-то выступал. Никто не выступает нигде.
Well, if you know anybody that can translate it, let me know. I'll grab that video and send it on over. And that's the information I had for January 6th. Here we are today in January 7th, where 28 of 38 enemy UAVs were shot down. 10 were lost because of electronic warfare. No UAVs reached their target. Air defenses of Ukraine putting in the work every night to keep Ukraine safe. You want to talk Inception? Here's a nice little video of a drone dropping a drone. Yeah, just a short little clip, but yes, that is a drone dropping a drone. I just thought it was pretty neat and cool to see that. And unfortunately, the bad news for today, we saw them on the train cars heading towards the front. But here they are, the 170 millimeter North Korean artillery cannons have made it to the front in Ukraine.
Ким Чен Ын подарил нам. Корейская артиллерия.
Let's all hope that North Korea's production of ammo blows up in the barrel. And we have a couple videos from the 33rd together with their affiliates in Kursk, mortars, tanks, self-propelled gun, cluster munitions, D-30s. You know, bringing everything to bear on the Russians. And here are the clips they sent us. Ukrainian armor. The fog's lifts, and Russians are encamped there.
This is what you asked for. Heavy is the crown, fire in the sunrise, ashes raining down. Try to hold it in, but it keeps bleeding out. This is what you asked for. Heavy is love, heavy is the crown. Heavy is the
Yeah, it's really hard to see what's going on with the fog, but that is literally the fog of war. But, you know, Ukrainian troops supporting the tank supporting the troops the way it should be done. Before we go to the next video, explosions reported in Kyiv. Kyiv is under air alert. Literally 1 minute ago. I'm guessing it was a hypersonic because the air alert happened at the same time as the explosion. So prayers out to those in Kyiv. I hope you all are safe. Here's the other video that they got to us from Kursk. You see artillery coming in. And the Russians running, well, towards the artillery for some reason. I'm guessing the Ukrainian troops are coming up this road and they're trying to fall back. Cluster munitions coming in. Russian right there. Artillery comes in to take out the group that went over to that building. So that's just some of the videos coming in from Kurtz today. Let's see if I could say this correctly. Koriv Battalion of the Borivka Brigade brings it to the Russians. This was actually geolocated, so I can show you where that is happening. It happens in this little forested area right here, just outside of Novoelizavetivka. And you see him coming into the outskirts of the village of Novoelizavetivka. And encountering Russian positions. Taking out the position in that house and start taking fire from the houses over in this direction. And rotate the gun to face the other direction of fire. Look at all the sunflowers that are never going to get harvested because it's in the middle of a war zone now. Well, took out some positions, weakened the Russian forces, and head back to base. My little caption, oh my god, the mud. Anti-personnel HE rounds. I'm sure they have DU rounds too. The farmer in me is kicking in because I'm sitting there looking at those ruts and thinking, geez, that's going to take a heck of a lot of tilling to get those ruts out of that ground. More video from Kurtz, this time 61st Separate Mechanized Step Brigade. There's a lot going on in this video. Artillery coming in. Cluster munitions. You see enemy troops moving through along the road. More artillery. Here comes the armor support. And the drone drops. And back to the armor. So armor, artillery, drones, all working together to keep Russians from occupying this village. I say it was an airfield hit. It's not an airfield. It's an oil depot in Russia that is on fire. And you hear the drone in the background coming in for the next hit. And you see the explosion light up the side of the house here. Oh, and if you do go to Ukraine, make sure you share the road. The helicopters need to pass. I want to play that one again because there's this game in the arcade where you were a spy and like helicopters would come in and drop you stuff for your vehicle and do oil slicks and stuff like that. But It's the same music. Yeah, can you imagine just driving down the road and having one of those come over top of your car? I'm not sure I'd be able to keep on the road. Russians can't keep on the railroad tracks.
Года. Километр 461. Произошел сход 39 полувагонов с углем. Путь отсутствует. На протяжении 200-250 метров. Локомотив 029 с 16-го разъезда применил экстренное торможение на 12 километрах в час. До 461 километра локомотив
He's saying a lot of numbers, but I can't keep up with as fast as he's saying them.
Произошел расцеп полувагонов. И вагоны сошли. В количестве, как я говорил, 39 штук.
Right now, there's some director of the Russian freight trains saying, we can't have nice things.
Экскаваторы, краны и 200-250 метров.
Oh, the oil depot that got hit. I got more video of it. I'll show you here in a second. But one coal train that's not going to make it where it was supposed to go. Satellite image of the oil slick hitting the Crimean coast. You can tell from this photo on the deep state map. Come down here to Crimea, and it looks like it is this area right here. And bring that back. You can see the oil spill pushing its way up into Vedroza on the Crimean Peninsula. I doubt Russia will clean it up, so it's just one more thing that Ukrainians will have to clean up after Russia when they win this war. Testing out a new river drone.
Двигун камуфльованого надводного дрона тихо гуркоче у водах Дніпра. Цей виріб журналістам показують вперше. Оператор вмикає передачу.
This is in Kyiv, but they're just developing and testing out a new little mini boat drone.
Сновигає повз нас з оператором. Пілот, ім'я якого домовилися не називати, раз за разом робить різкі маневри. Зигзаги, повороти, а ще розвороти навколо осі. Попри такі фінти, дрон не перекидається і продовжує триматися на воді.
I'm not going to play much more. The video is pretty much the same thing, just them taking the drone through the paces, talking about the development. You know how almost only counts with horseshoes and hand grenades? I wish it didn't. I wish this counted. This is an almost by a Ukrainian drone and a Russian helicopter. So if he was a little bit closer, that would have been a hit, and we would have had our first well, not the first helicopter taken down by a drone, but the first one taken down by an FPV drone. one more time just to see, so you can see how close this got. And he's turning, trying to get into it, but just barely misses the helicopter. Looks back to see if there's another one coming that he can get, but nope, just the one. I showed you the video yesterday of the HIMARS firing. The next video I have for you is from a Russian source showing the results of the HIMARS attack. On a somewhat related note, remember that we fundraise for trucks. Russians fundraise for black plastic bags. Now, there was just a little bit of the HIMARS clock before and just the after effects. But pretty cool, we got to see him fire and then the after effects from their hit. And another video from the 3rd Assault Brigade. Men move forward. A video of the cleanup of Russian positions in the Kharkiv region. Group of fighters enter the enemy trenches, and, well, you'll see here.
Вперед, продвигайтесь, мужчины. Давай, давай. Куда? Плюс, плюс. Продвигайтесь вперед, вперед. 15 метров вперед. Вин, быстрее нахуй. Ебать, тихо нахуй. Пидор 200, справа. Контакт, пидор 200. Двигаемся. Мужчины, двигаемся вперед, блять, времени мало, нас ебашить сейчас начнут. По дороге, по полю, братан. Давайте, нас палят уже, давайте. Нужно быстрее двигаться. Там открылся, пизда. Давайте. Давайте, быстрее, мужчины. Давай, ныряй. Давай, мужчины.
Навалим?
Не, не навалим. Пошли поверху.
Я там не пройду.
Clearing out the dugouts with, well, fire and grenades.
Пошли вперед. Пошли. Право, смотри, право. FPV!
And of course, FPVs come in.
FPV, не ныряй. FPV, мужчины! Есть, сбил! Вниз!
And he got the FPV, crashed out into the
Сбивайте ее
field.
нахуй! Вот она! Сейчас нас убьет, блядь! Нихуя не убила, долбоебка! Все, въебываем! Чистим быстрее, продолжаем, мужчины! Имеем сколько пидоров за 200?
Одного.
Мангус, сколько?
Ни одного.
Вот там блиндаж справа.
Один, да, блин.
Один? Заебись. Вот там блиндаж справа. Залазьте в него. Я одного снял. Тип еще одного снял. И еще один. Ну, сейчас 3. Давай. Так, камеру не проебал, уже заебись. Протягивайся, сколько пидоров убил? Сколько живых видел?
Живих 0.
Все, 0 живих, охуєнно. Задачу по зачистці завершили. Розхід БК 15%, поранених нема, все майно на місці. Ліквідовано 3 підарів. Фух, нормально, короче.
Что там, недобитки были?
Да, недобитки были. Да, заебись. Нормально сделали.
I'm catching a little bit of what they're saying, but it's hard for me to keep up with it. I can keep up with it in my head, but to be able to tell it to you guys, I wish I could, but I'm just not that skilled yet. Unfortunately, that is the last video I have for you today. A couple more things from Warriors Ukrainian. Ukraine has received the first of the new Linux infantry fighting vehicles from Rheinmetall. Way to go. Those are going to be very useful in Ukraine. I can't wait to see the videos of those in action. Their flags. While we're here, switch over to the other account and see what's... This is what is over Ukraine. 31 drones over Ukraine. Different regions. One UAV along the western border. That was 5 minutes ago. One UAV from Bovary went to the city. Hopefully that was the explosion that was heard. Right at the start of the stream, 6 UAVs were in Chernihiv. 1 in Bielotruska, 1 in Cherkasky, 1 in Kivnograd, and 1 in Poltava. So, again, Russia just... Okay, I guess I did not forward that video of the things. I know Dennis has it. So you're asking where Statizov Ingalls Russian aviation works out of this area, but it turned out to be the oil depot. And here are the videos I forgot to forward over to the channel. So this is the video we watched. I didn't forward the other 2 videos, unfortunately. So, house lights up. That's the one we saw. Here's the other view.
Ух, блядь, только что сбили. Ой, извиняюсь за мат, мам.
So it looks like a drone got shot down right there. And another view.
Оно гудит, они не попали в него, понимаешь? Сейчас попадут еще раз.
Looks like another drone just hit. But listen to that delay, and it kind of gives you an idea. Oh, I'd have to back up farther. But you see the drone hit, and then you hear the boom. And you can actually see the drone coming in. Let me slow this down. Go back to full screen. You watch right there. You see the drone come in from this corner of the smoke. Does the hit. So, you see it right there? and hits one of those towers. And there's the picture of what it looks like. This looks like it was right before the other drone hit, or the drone hit over here behind the building. That is all the videos for today. Let's go back to the air alert map, show you where the air alerts currently are. Again, explosions reported in Kyiv itself. And as we hop into the news. And I really wanted to look at this before the stream, but I didn't get a chance. So let's see what catastrophic defeat is Trump facing. Come on. Trump is facing a catastrophic defeat in Ukraine. If Ukraine falls, it will be hard to spin as anything but a debacle for the United States and for its president. Yeah. Vice President-elect Vance once said that he doesn't care what happens to Ukraine. We will soon find out whether the American people share his indifference. Because if there is not soon a large new infusion of aid from the United States, Ukraine will likely lose the war within the next year to year and a half. Ukraine will not lose in a nice negotiated way with vital territory sacrificed, but an independent Ukraine kept alive, sovereign, and protected by the West's security guarantees. It faces instead a complete defeat, a loss of sovereignty, and a full Russian control. This poses an immediate problem for Donald Trump. He promised to settle the war quickly upon taking office. No, he didn't. He said he'd do it before he took office. It would only take 24 hours. He would do it as the president-elect. He is running out of time because that's only 13 days away. But now Trump faces the hard reality that Putin has no interest in negotiating a settlement that leaves Ukraine intact as a sovereign nation. Putin also sees an opportunity to strike a damaging blow at American global power. Trump must now choose between accepting a humiliating strategic defeat on a global stage and immediately redoubling American support for Ukraine while there's still time. The choice he makes in the next few weeks will determine not only the fate of Ukraine, but also the success of his presidency. The Atlantic putting it on the line for Trump. The end of an independent Ukraine is and always has been Putin's goal. While foreign policy commentators spin theories about what kind of deal Putin might accept, how much territory he might demand, and what kind of security guarantees, demilitarized zones, and foreign assistance he might permit. You know, everybody's worried about what Putin wants. Fuck what Putin wants. Jesus criminy. Putin himself has never shown interest in anything short of Ukraine's complete capitulation. Before Russia's invasion, many people could not believe that Putin really wanted all of Ukraine. His original aim was to decapitate the government in Kyiv, replace it with a government subservient to Moscow, and through that government control the entire country. Shortly after the invasion was launched, as Russian forces were still driving into Ukraine, Putin could have agreed to, and this is the thing, a Ukrainian offer to cede territory to Russia, but even then he rejected any guarantees for Ukrainian security. This is what everybody forgets. Ukraine offered a peace deal that gave up Luhansk and Donetsk and Crimea right before Putin invaded. Gave him Ukrainians offered Putin everything he said he wanted. Putin said no. And everybody seems to forget this. Yeah. Ukrainian offer to cede territory to Russia. Putin rejected it. Oh, he just wants to free the Russian speakers in Luhansk and Donetsk. Bullshit. He was offered that before the invasion. So, thank you, The Atlantic and Robert Kagan, for a story that actually tells the truth. And unfortunately, we have Mr. Frump. Oh, they don't even have the picture of him. Going on television today and sympathizing with fucking Putin. Stick it up your rear, Mr. Trump. A Russian Marine Corps brigade has headquarters all over Kursk. Okay, that's more funny than I thought it was going to be, because they're talking about the 810th. Yeah, their headquarters are all over Kursk because Ukraine has blown up their headquarters twice. For the second time in 2 weeks, Ukrainian forces have blown up a headquarters belonging to the Russian 810th Naval Brigade. I showed you guys both of those. You know, there's video out there of both areas after they got hit. Why they don't show them, I don't know. Maybe they couldn't sign a deal with or find the videos themselves. But yeah, their first headquarters was they set up in a sugar factory. Yeah, the sugar factory got blown up along with their headquarters. The air alert in Kyiv is at an end for now. They moved into the cultural center of a smaller village. Ukrainian hit the cultural center. I showed you guys that video, including the Russians' propaganda video from across the street, hiding the military vehicles and just showing shop fronts that had windows broken out. I'm waiting for the trifecta. They have to have set up a new headquarters. I wonder how long it is before we'll see the 810th in the news again. Short of heat and power, the breakaway region of Transnistria struggles without Russian gas. Oh, boo-hoo. Okay, the people, yeah, I feel sorry for the people. But you notice this isn't saying Moldova is struggling. No, because Moldova, when offered gas from EU, Moldova said yes. Transnistria leaders, Russian puppets, said no, we want the Russian gas. And now they have no heat and no power. And in many cities, no water. I have zero sympathy for the leadership in Transnistria. Unfortunately, as it is when all people in power have spats, it's the people that suffer. I feel sorry for the people, but nothing for the leadership of Transnistria. And Biden administration set to announce substantial final weapons package for Ukraine. The Hill says time runs out on Biden's aid to Ukraine and on Putin's nuclear threats. Yeah, Biden's not letting time run out. He's using every minute he can to send aid. So we'll probably see something from Biden tomorrow. Let's go with U.S. News and World Report. This was at noon today. Biden administration is set to announce a massive final weapons aid package. Okay, let's not go with U.S. News and World Report. Let's go with AP News. And you notice it's exactly the same anyways. Set to announce a massive final weapons aid package for Ukraine as part of Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin's visit to Germany on Thursday. So it won't be tomorrow, it will be Thursday that it gets announced. Within the meeting with 50 partner nations to help Ukraine's defense. So I'm not even going to bother reading any more of this. I'll wait till Thursday when the aid package is announced. Yeah, Al Jazeera, I'm not reading that story. That's the same. This is the same bullcrap that people have been saying for months. Oh, Ukraine has manpower struggles. Well, yeah, but Ukraine has been having manpower struggles since the beginning of the full-scale invasion. You can only train so many troops so fast. In Eskimo, oh God. And unfortunately, the worst story I have to bring to you today. German couple admit to killing Ukrainian refugees for their baby. A German couple have confessed to killing a refugee and her mother so that they could steal a newborn baby. The couple are accused of joint murder and abduction of a minor, and they expressed regret. I don't care how much you regret being caught not doing it. This is why Ukrainians need to return to Ukraine. They need the war to be over. They need to have security guarantees so they're not in other countries where predators are attacking them, killing them, and being Russian in kidnapping their kid. And it's not like Ukraine doesn't have adoption programs. They have adoption programs. So these people could have adopted a Ukrainian kid legally and had a baby of their, had their own kid. But no, they have to Please tell me they were Russian. First off, why are you waiting until your 40s to have a child? Yeah, that's I can't read any more of this without getting pissed off, so I'm going to end it there. I mean, come on, people. What's your finger itchy about? You know, you need to scope out where you put your hands, man. Why can't you play board games in the jungle? Hmm. Unfortunately, that's all the news I have for you today. Let's just double check on the trucks for Ukraine. No updates on mine. A83. And we still have donations coming in for the main page. Went from 883 to 908. So keep up the good work. You know, always nice having an extra vehicle get sent for the Christmas. Air alerts are still ongoing. Let me just double check Telegram, see if anything is popping up. Oh. Okay, you guys will like this story.
Я служу в 100-й бригаді вже 3-й рік. На посаді начальник. Я служу в 100-й бригаді вже 3-й рік. На посаді начальник господарчого відділення, ну це їдальня. І зі мною служить 3-й рік уже Гріджо. У мене жодної військової освіти немає. Ну я погодилась якось, я перед війною була співвласницею кафе. І може я справлюся. І так вийшло. Після того, як ми приїхали з Італії, цей котик прибився до мене до будинку. Не знали, як його назвати. І придумали, що він сірий, племінники були в гостях і сказали, що давайте назвемо Гріджо, по-італійськи це буде сірий. Так ми з ним служимо, він мені допомагає морально, його всі побратими люблять. Чи щасливий Гріджо? Я думаю, що так. Принаймні його життя не є таким скучним. І переїзди, і нові люди, і любов всіх побратимів, і моя, звичайно. Я думаю, як коту йому повезло. А мені з ним. Перемогу відсвяткуємо з Гріджо.
Well, what a beautiful story to end the stream with. And just remember, not everybody in the Army needs to be at the front fighting. For every person on the front, you have a whole support team behind them. This lady is heading up the lunchroom for the 100th Brigade and has the help of this really fat cat catching mice. With that, I will say good night. Thank you all for coming. I appreciate you being here, supporting the channel. If you haven't hit the like, hit the like. If I appreciate that. If you're not subscribed, how'd you get here? No, if you're not subscribed, hit subscribe if you want to see more. More than that, I appreciate your support for Ukraine. Ukraine is near and dear in my heart. I hope it is in yours. Have a good night and stay safe, everybody.